it's tough, man. I mean, I only watched the movie once. I mean, but it's honestly a toss-up between him and Heath Ledger. Hey, what's going on, Movie Maniacs? I'm Zach.
And I'm Matt.
And this is the preview, everybody's favorite part of the movie.
Zach, welcome back to the show.
Matt, welcome back yourself.
Exactly. Movie Maniacs, we missed you so much, but I promise it's going to be worth the wait because we got a lot of catching up to do.
Yes, we
right
do
now.
indeed.
Exactly. But, of course, you already saw the name of this review. Joker.
We had to do our own review, which we also want to thank our producer Ryan and friend Dan for covering for us last week.
Absolutely, we really do appreciate it. At least we could get something out there. But you know, we obviously being as critically, I guess, divisive as this film was, we wanted to obviously put our 2 cents into it.
And I believe it was my number. It was 3 or 4 most anticipated movie of the year.
It didn't make mine because Todd Phillips, I didn't trust him whatsoever. But again, we brought it up. Todd Phillips directed this movie. Joaquin Phoenix also stars, is the leading role of Arthur Fleck. Also Robert De Niro's in it. A couple other actors too, but I mean, this is really a one-trick pony.
Yeah, it's all Joaquin Phoenix. I can't think of one scene without him in it.
Yep.
I don't think there is, actually.
Earlier this week when Scorsese said, Marvel films are not cinema, right? This movie is cinema.
Yep.
It's why you go to the movies.
Yeah, I'm so happy he said, because I'm finally, because now people can at least expect where I'm coming from, and you could look at it from the eyes of an amazing director like Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Now, at least somebody like of his stature can relate with me, because that's the exact way that I feel about
Yeah,
movies.
no, I mean,
I know I'm in the minority.
I'm really thinking that DC has found its niche. You know, do stuff that is creative. Don't try to copy the other, brand. Do what makes you feel, I guess, comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and
because the flashy superhero explosions,
Marvel's
has
got that.
has got that, but
got
they need
that.
to start taking this darker route, which I thought Suicide Squad was going to be, but obviously that was a huge letdown. But now James Gunn taking over Suicide Squad now,
it could be fun.
It could be great.
Because he could get
It
dark.
could be great,
And
yep.
if they give him the ability to go dark, that it could be something special.
That's the only one complaint, not from me, but people have had with this movie, is for how you could say slow it is.
Yeah.
And I got that to a degree, but don't get me wrong, I was fully invested in it. I just was really on the edge of my seat. I wanted to see him snap. I did. I was very on edge the whole movie. And I finally got it, and it was definitely a great payoff. But
definitely.
But now knowing when that snap's going to be, I want to go back into it with that mind and knowing kind of where it's going to go now. Now I'm just not waiting for that. Now I can actually take a step back and actually focus on everything else going on.
Yeah, I thought this movie was a little bit too long. You know, I felt the drag, but it's a character study. I'm not expecting it to be like, this quick, fast-paced movie like a traditional superhero Batman movie was, which I didn't go into this thinking that was ever going to be even remotely close to that. But I wasn't expecting this to be as so grounded in reality. Who would have ever thought a movie starring probably, I would say, the most iconic superhero villain of all time, and being directed by the guy that did The Hangover and Old School. Literally having, I felt like when I was watching this movie, I was watching our society right now. And that's where a lot of this, a lot of complaints that are coming out now is, this movie's dangerous. This movie's gonna start mass shootings. Well, first thing, as the start of this movie, no shootings ever happened.
Nope.
And I don't think it's gonna happen, related to this movie, because all those morons that are living in grandma's basement right now who are afraid to see this movie, I honestly think if they just stepped out of their bubble a little bit and made themselves feel uncomfortable, they would appreciate this message behind the movie more than anything else. Like, I'm even seeing, top producers that are actually voting in the Academy saying, I refuse to see this movie. Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's art,
It's pure art.
It's pure
again,
art.
because you don't have to be, because again, it just dives into mental health that I've never seen on screen really before, done so well. I mean, just off the top of my head, there's probably a few I might be able to pick out, but it does it so well, and it's just such a slow burn, and it's not just always chaos and all that. It's just the slight triggers that just push these people to the top.
Yeah, push a lot of people to the top, and I feel the way Joaquin Phoenix obviously went ahead and portrayed this character. Let's put it this way. The biggest fear that I had going into this movie, other than Todd Phillips directing it, was they're going to make Joker out to be a good guy. He is so far away from being a good guy, it's not even funny, And a lot of those, the thing that really hit me hard with this was I feel bad.
Oh, yeah, you do.
It's his fault, but it's not his fault. He has an issue, and I think I'm going to take this away, but still give her credit. Grace Randolph, she said it perfectly. She was like, now I understand going into, Batman movies now, why Batman does not kill the Joker when he causes so much chaos, I understand now because he can't help himself by doing that. He has an issue.
They said the only thing I guess to make him feel normal is how it pretty much came out to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just because he has that uncontrollable laughter and all that, and you truly feel that it's the only happiness he ever really experienced in life is causing this chaos, and you could really feel that and see that through his facial expressions and just his actions.
Yeah, and I know originally Martin Scorsese was tied to this movie being the producer, and he's no longer a producer on it.
I actually did not know that.
Yeah, you can definitely see all the aspects that Todd Phillips took, all the inspiration he took from movies like Taxi Driver. I recently watched that. Don't hate me, for the first time, fully through on Friday before I went and saw Joker, and I could see a lot of influence coming from Taxi Driver, where that movie's such a slow burn, where I feel like Taxi Driver was like, the payoff, for me at least, wasn't there.
Fair enough.
This was complete opposite.
Okay.
I felt like once it started getting going and when he actually became the Joker, I was like, mama, I'm in. And there's so many parts in this film, too, where Josh just hits the floor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said no specifics at all, but yeah, when the chaos hits, it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sitting in my chair and just flew up a few times, like, oh my god, are you kidding me? That was insane.
Yeah, because it just catches you off surprise, and I think
because he just keeps that same. He no matter what, just Joaquin Phoenix always kind of keeps that same tone and that same. He just stays the same throughout the whole movie, just knowing something's off. And then you just you expect it to keep continuing that way, and it's out of nowhere, it's bam.
Yep.
And then he does something insane, but he just acts like nothing. It was nothing.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. I'm still going to do my belly dances and majestic moves around the place. Nothing's going to stop me from doing that.
Nothing is. Nothing is. And man, that guy can dance, I'll tell you that.
Obviously, the Joker's a very goofy, you could look at goofy out there individual, and always stands out, but you never really seen the psychological insight into this kind of character, and it delved into it majorly, not only from a Joker standpoint, but just a mental health in general. This movie delved into it beautifully, and it's those moments of these people having these mental issues of just them by themselves and these small things triggering them, and just almost feeling that others think, oh, just get over it, but they can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. Now, I don't have we both don't have a background in psychology, but I did reach out to someone who is a social worker. She does work in a major metropolis city that we live close to, and she said that this movie is spot on. Joaquin Phoenix knocked this role completely out of the park. So overall, what do you think?
It's again, I do definitely want to rewatch it, but I was still I was just in awe by you're right, it's art. This movie was pure art, nothing flashy, slow burn to the highest degree, and Joaquin Phoenix was just absolutely incredible. So I think I'm gonna go 4.5. So we just got back from Disney, Tower of Terror outfits out of 5.
Okay. Joker, I thought was excellent. I thought it was a little bit slower in the middle. I was waiting for him to snap a little bit more, but directing from Todd Phillips, top notch. Joaquin Phoenix, I don't think he's a shoo-in because you have idiots saying they're not going to see the movie who vote on the Academy. And I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to say again, I think people need to get out of their comfort zone and see this movie. Whether you think it's, some political hack job that you're like, I don't want to see politics shove it down your throat. I'm going to be honest, as political as I thought this movie was going to be, it wasn't political to me.
Far from it.
And it tiptoed the line because you could
really tiptoed the line.
You could read undertones of it being political, right? But it was it was critical of both sides of the spectrum. It's political to Republicans. It was political to Democrats. You can see where they all mold into this, into the city in this film. So I recommend everyone who's scared and, oh my God.
But again, like I said, it did do that, but they also just showed that wasn't the main idea.
That wasn't the main idea of the movie,
So just say, no matter what, these two sides are fighting, but we're still focused on this one guy who has mental issues.
Yeah, and I feel like they would take a lot away from this movie if they decided to be uncomfortable. But if you're not, and you're just gonna sit behind a keyboard and try to boycott this movie, I'm gonna be honest. Yep. I'm gonna tell you one thing. I'm gonna say this is probably the only time I've ever really sworn on the show, except like little words. You go fuck yourself. Like real easy. Like if you're gonna go ahead and try to boycott a movie for trying to take a stance on something that's really affecting all of our lives, and you think you're doing justice, well, guess what? Go fuck yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4.5 door latches out of 5. But that's it for this week, Movie Maniacs. We are so happy to be back. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, hit that bell icon so you get notified of every single review we upload. And then next week, we are going to go ahead and review another one of Zach's most anticipated movies of the year.
I think it was the top 10.
It might have been honorable mention.
Yeah, it was honorable mention or number 10. I think it was one of those two. Yeah.
I think it was number 10. It is Zombieland 2, which we're really excited to go ahead and check out.
I mean, I was at the beginning, like before any trailers came out, but the trailer did not hook me at all. I do not think it looks that good, but we'll see what happens.
We'll see. And then also look forward to our review coming up soon, probably after Zombieland. Yeah. Breaking Bad presents El Camino.
Yes.
And then all of our Florida nostalgia, movie videos are going to come out where we're going to commentate on what our thoughts were on some of the lands and, maybe what they could have fixed and how we felt maybe being transported into that world and all that fun stuff. So we got a lot of work to do, Zach.
We do.
But hey, we're so happy to be back, and we'll see you next week on the previews.